morning. Thank you. Good morning. I was there listening to the wonderful speakers. All the things they talk about reminds me in the past 18 years.
Jack Ma is the co-founder of Alibaba and one of the world's most influential entrepreneurs. In this video, Jack Ma shares invaluable lessons on how to overcome failures.
18 years ago, in my apartment, I told the 18 founders that one day we will build up a site. That site will be the top 10 sites of the world, and we will build up a company that can last 102 years. And people say, why 102 years? Because our company was born in 1999. Last year, we had 1 year. This century, we finished 100 years, and next century, we have a 1 year. 102 means cross 3 centuries. When every goal you give to your team should be very accurate. If you say, this company is going to last 100 years, so nobody take it seriously because every company say, we want to last 100 years. So the number you give the team should be very accurate. We took the video when I talked to the 18 founders. And today when I watch the video, a lot of people say, well, since we don't have anything to do, when you see 102 years, a big 10 sites, let's just do it. Very few people believe that we will make it happen because we don't have a high resumes, right? I graduated from Hangzhou Teachers College, and most of my colleagues at 18 founders, they were my students, my friends. None of them are very successful. Among the 18 people, there are only 3 people who know something about computer. The rest of 15 people know nothing about computer, nothing about the internet. We had no money. 18 people gathered $50,000. And we had no relationship. None of us from rich family or powerful family with a government office background. We don't have great talents. But I told the team that, guys, if we can be successful, 80% of the young people in the world can be successful. Because at that time, China had the internet was so backward. Nobody believed e-commerce in China. Nobody believed internet. People say China will not develop internet. And China will not have e-commerce because you don't have a credit card system, you don't have logistics, you don't have this, you don't have that. But I think someday China will have. If we start to do it now, if we prepare for 10, 15 years, the day that e-commerce in China will booming. So that was the thinking at the beginning. And 30 years ago, I was considered, in my early 30 years, I was considered to be a loser. I remember that, I applied university for 3 times, all failed. And after the first year when I finished university of high school, failed in examination for university, I went apply for a job in a police station. 5 classmates, we went there, 4 of them accepted, and I was rejected. And one of the 4 who were rejected, today he's my chief staff. He's been working in the police for 20 years. He's an excellent policeman, but when we talk about this, he always say, well, the day when we apply for being a policeman, you were rejected. They feel very proud. But they say, hey, Jack, you don't have a chance. And the second thing I remember very well, Hangzhou, the first 4-star hotel in my city was built. My cousin and I waited for 2 hours and a half in a very hot summer in order to apply a job being a hotel waiter. After interview, my score was much better than my cousin. After interview, my cousin was accepted and I was rejected. Reason is he was taller and more handsome. 30 years later, today, he is still working in that hotel in a laundry room. and I changed my life. And the other thing is that it's true. 24 of my friends, we went for applied job in a KFC. And 23 accepted. I was the only guy rejected. I don't know why, but they say, you don't have it. So I thought maybe the God said you should do things yourself. Because I get used to be rejected. Even to today, most of the times when we fail, when we did not achieve something, I say, well, get used to it. We are the people have to learn. We get used to being rejected. We get used to the days nobody comes to help us, support us. We should not get used to be successful. When we succeed on something, we always feel very proud and honored and thankful. Even to 1999, Joe and I, our CFO and vice chairman, and we took him to Silicon Valley and asked for venture capitalist support. We were rejected by more than 30 venture capitalists. People even did not want to listen to we talk. They say, hey, you 18 guys, none of you guys have a high resumes. None of you guys, Joe he graduated from Yale. But the other 18 guys, we don't have any background. And the story we're telling be the top 10 websites want to make a company last 102 years and will be doing e-commerce in China. People say, this guy is crazy. But we started with $50,000 US. And then I think 2 years later, Harvard came. They want to write a case study. They spent 1 week, write a long case study and talk to me, say, Jack, this is your company. I read the case study, say, no, this is not my company. This is not what we want to do. He said, this is your company. You just did not realize that. So I say, okay, then this is my company. And the next 6 years, they put the case study in many universities in Beijing to study that they always put Alibaba and our competitors together. Every time I was invited, sitting at the back of the classroom, listen to the people talking about my company. For 6 years, every time they say Alibaba will die, that competitor will win. And 6 years later, all the competitors die, we're still surviving. The reason we do that, not because we're expert of internet, not because we are smart. We are not smart people. But we are very optimistic. We believe in the future. We believe in internet. And we believe that if we do not succeed, somebody will. And we know that we have to be humble. We have to serve our customers. The investors may not like us. If the customers like us, we have the futures. Right. Most of the companies die not because they don't have money, because they have too much money. And we didn't have a plan. I understand a lot of venture capitalists say, Jack, what is your business plan? I say, I don't have a business plan. So how can I give you money if you don't have a business plan? And my answer is, how can you giving you business plan of internet e-commerce in 1999? The only thing is how can using internet to support the customers and understand the customers, make the customers successful. We know only our customers succeed, we will be successful. So this is how we did it. And I really have been very thankful for America. 1995, I went to Seattle, discovered the internet. And year 2001, 2002, when the internet almost bubble bursted, I happened to be in Seattle again. In my home, in my friend's home, I watched a wonderful movie called Forrest Gump. I like the sentence. It reminds me, every time when I have a problem, I tell myself, this is what Forrest Gump said. He said, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And I found that Forrest Gump made a fortune by catching shrimps, not catching whales. So helping small business will make me like a Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, just to keep on running. Be simple. Serve the people. That was what I learned. And also, I think the very important is after so many years, I learned I keep on telling myself, yesterday I told you, and today I want to tell you again. As an entrepreneur, believe every day is difficult. Today is very difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult. But believe in the day after tomorrow, that day is very beautiful. But most people die tomorrow evening. If you don't work hard, you don't see the sunshine. And people say, how could you inspire people when days are so bad? We hire people who are very self-motivated. Don't hire people who are very sort of complaining. As a leader, you should never complain. If you complain, nobody will follow you. Nobody loves to follow a leader who complains a lot. And we have to be optimistic. I'm lucky enough to meet so many great business leaders in the world. I find all of them, they are very optimistic. I found all of them never complain, and I found all of them want to making sure that their team are better. 18 years later, now from 18 founders, now we got more than 50,000 people. And from my apartment, we got a lot of campers today, and we have achieved over 550 billion US dollars GMV sales last year. And we also have more than 500 million users using our services in China alone. And every day, more than 200 million people shopping through mobile phone on our site. And one thing you believe or not, I just don't understand. There are about more than 60 million people browser through mobile phone every night without buying anything. And we also created more than 33 million jobs. This is what we feel for China. This is what we feel most proud of. Our goal is that we are bigger, even crazier. Yesterday I told you, by year 2036, we try to build an economy that be the world's 5th largest economy. For our GMV last year, we are ranking number 21 or 22 in the world. In next 20 years, we want to be the 5th. In the 5th largest economy, we want to support 2 billion consumers. We want to create 100 million jobs for the world. We want to support 10 million business, be profitable on our platform. This is what we want to do. And by the way, there are a lot of stories about us, a lot of books telling about us. I never write a book by myself because I think when I start to write my own autobiography, that means I'm getting old. The book I want to write about one day is about Alibaba 1001 mistakes. We made so many mistakes, and the mistakes that we learn are the best assets we have. We made all kinds of mistakes on the financing, on the HR, on the marketing, and on the competition. We have a lot. I tell you one story was very interesting. It's every startup at the beginning when you want to be global, you have the same thing. When we started Alibaba B2B, we are helping small business to selling things across the board. So we think, which country has the best technology on the internet? We say USA. And if we are helping international trade, you need English. Which country has a very good English? USA. And which country has most of the import-export business? USA. So we say, that means we should put Alibaba headquarters, or at least a big office in America. So we decided to build up a huge office in San Francisco. When we arrived in San Francisco, we found something wrong, because it is so difficult to hire people who know trade in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco. So we started hire people from Miami, from New York, all arriving into San Francisco. After 1 month or 2 months, we realized something wrong when we have like 30 people in our Silicon Valley office. Because those people, they know trade, but they don't know anything about the internet. Those people who know about the internet, they do not know anything about the trade. And the other thing frustrated us is that it was a beautiful story at that time, because they say China in the daytime, U.S. is the evening. U.S. in the daytime, China is the evening. So people work in the daytime, send email there, so next day they can continue to work. It's a beautiful story, but did not work out. Later we find out that those people who know trade do not necessarily have to know English, or at least their English terrible. That's fine. People understand what you're talking about. We do not need English experts to do import-export. So we know something wrong, we say, we have to shut down the office. And I told the team, the 30 people, say, we're going to have shut down. You want to get a cash, or you want to get an Alibaba share? If you want to get a cash, $3,000, like $2,000 or $3,000 each person. If you want to get a share, 1 cent, 2 cents per share. You get the options. Everybody say, give me cash, no shares. They all went home happily with $3,000. So we have a lot of mistakes we made, and a lot of colleagues also made mistakes. We survived. I would say we survived. We're not successful. We will never say, in Alibaba, we'll never say we are a successful company, because we will not say success until we survive 102 years. We just finished 18 years. There are another 84 years to go. The next 84 years, anything could happen, so we will never say we're succeeding. Because every time, I think most people here, have the same feeling. When you get a feeling of being successful, problem comes. Right? So I share some of the tips why we survived. First, we have to believe in the future. We have to love the jobs we do. We have to love our customers. So if you don't have the vision for the future, it's difficult for a team to have a teamwork. Do not hire people for you to work. Hire people to work for the vision you agree on together. Especially young people, my advice, if you're 20 years old, please join a good company, find a good boss to learn how to do business. If you're 30 years old, if you want to do something yourself, try to do something yourself. When you are 40 years old, please do something that you are strong at and good at. When you're 50 years old, please spend time for the young people, giving chance for young people while you're still strong. When you're 60 years old, better spend time with your grandchildren on the beaches. This is generally speaking, and this is something that everything you do, you have to love it. If you do not like the things you're doing, your life is in trouble. Right. Second is that try to build a good team. What does a good team mean? The good team does not mean you hire excellent people from Harvard or from a multinational Fortune 500 countries or companies. I remember when we raised the first $5 million US, we think, now we have money from $50,000 to $5 million. So we should hire great people. We hired close to 10 excellent vice presidents for many multinational companies. One of the guys who are the marketing expert vice president of a big company, he gave me a business plan, a marketing plan, $12 million US. And I say, hey, we only have $5 million. How could you give me a business plan for next year's budget to marketing $12 million? He said, Jack, I never make any plan below $20 million. Hire the right people, not necessarily the best people. The best people is always you train them. There's no best people in the market. The best people for you is always you train yourself. So, as I say, if you hire the people who are very good, not suitable to you, it's just like you are putting a Boeing 747 engine into a poor tractors. Neither of them are happy. The engine is not happy, the poor tractor is not happy. So find the right people. And the other thing I want to say is that making sure that you focus on the product and services. Your vision decides what kind of people are joining you. But what kind of people joining you would decide the product and services. As the chairman, as the CEO, as the founder of the company, you have to be sure your customers are happy with the product and service. I know nothing about a computer. I hate high technology because people like me, when we hear about high technology, we are scared. But when we want to get the government support, we tell government we are high technology. But when we tell the consumers, users say, this is so simple. For the first 2 years, I was the product tester of Alibaba website because I know 80% of the people in the world, on the business world, like me, we just want to have a dumb click, get what I want. So many of the times when the engineers design some wonderful softwares, they feel excited, and I would test it. If I cannot use it, just to throw it into the rubbish. If I can use it, I believe 80% of people can use it. So this is what I think is important. The fourth important for a startup, remember, always customer number one, employee number two, shareholder number three. If you put it's the customer pay you the money. It's the employees that their creation, their innovation make the customer happy. I believe if the customer happy, employees are happy, the shareholders will be happy. I don't like Wall Street put the shareholder number one. When shareholder put number one, people start to cheat. Number 5, as a startup, please stay focused. I find a lot of startups, they have so many dreams, they change dreams every day. If there are 9 rabbits on the ground, if you want to catch one rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself, right? Remember that. 9 rabbits, you have to stick to one rabbit until that rabbit, you got it. Don't change the rabbit all the time, you will get nothing. So embrace the change and change yourselves. Well, the next thing I want to share with you, I want to tell you about the world has changed. The world is changing very, very fast. Don't complain about the change because you complain, it changes. You don't complain, it changes. And when I was young, I don't like a Bill Gates. I don't like a Microsoft. I don't like Oracle because I think these guys taking all of my jobs, taking all of my opportunities. When you are tiny, young, you want to compare yourself to Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, you will be very disappointed. It's better for you to compare to your neighbors. How can you learn from them? Why barber? Yeah, I went to Detroit. Past 2 days, I found a lot of barber shops here. I don't know why. When you have opened a barber shop, you have to check why Mr. Wong's shop better than Tom's. There must be things inside. You have to learn. Where is the opportunity? Opportunity always exists in the place where people complain. If you can solve the complaining problems, that is the best opportunity. The world has changed. I say we are in a very, very critical period of technology revolution. Every technology revolution, the first 50 years are critical. The first technology revolution, the first 50 years are very important. Among the first 50 years, the first 20 years are the technology. Next 30 years about application of the technology. So in the first technology revolution, if you are the first company using the steam machines, you'll be successful. The second technology revolution, if you're the company using electricity sooner, faster, and quicker, then you will be successful. This technology revolution, if you are the company, embrace the change, see the future, change yourself, you might have a better chance. So why I say the world is dangerous? I say the first technology caused World War I. Second technology revolution caused World War II. Now we are entering the third technology revolution. It's going to be tough if we do not fight against the same enemy, poverty, disease, environment. The human being is going to be big trouble. So we have to be sure, we have to understand the future. And the other thing is that I want to say, people don't like globalization. I am a strong believer of globalization. I'm a strong believer of free trade. The past 20 years, globalization was designed for big companies. 200 years ago, globalization was controlled by few emperors and kings. In the past 20 years, globalization was controlled and manipulated by 60,000 big companies. Young people had no chance. Small business had no chance. Women had no chance. Developing countries had no chance. But even that, past 20 years, the world economy grew very fast because of globalization. What if we can support 6 million, 16 million small business? They can go global. They can buy and sell. That thing will change very, very fast. So I think when the things is changing so fast, everybody here, all the young people have to think about this. What does this change mean to me, to my kids? What should I change myself to meet the changes? What kind of things I should do about it? So I recommend to many government officers, and I also would love to share this idea with many entrepreneurs here. Remember, pay special attention to next 30 years. In the past 20 years, we have a Google, we have Amazon, we have a Facebook, we have Alibaba, we have all the apps, the Uber, all the companies. But the next 30 years are not those pure internet companies will win. Next 30 years are those companies who can make use of the internet. Using internet well, those companies will win. So please pay special attention to the next 30 years. Please pay special attention to those people who are below 30 years old. Today, there are about 1.7 billion people in the world using internet. And most of those people are below 30 years. Those people who are below 30 years old, they are the internet generation. They are the generation going to change the future. Please pay attention, special attention to those companies who have less than 30 employees, because small companies will be the future, and small companies will be the companies of 21st century. I'm a strong believer of that, because in the past 100 years, industry period, everything is about amount, size, standardizations. Next 30 years, the world is shifting from standardization to personalizations. So big companies is going to face huge challenges. Small guys, we have problems, but these big guys, they have a big problems than we have. And if you want to be a successful people and entrepreneur, remember, you need IQ, EQ, and LQ.